Okay, thank you, everybody. If everyone can take their seats. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you, everybody who's on the webcast. This is being webcast. We didn't advertise widely, but we do know that there are a few people on webcast, including some of our board members who couldn't make it in person today. So I'm Kimber Bogard. I direct the board on children, youth, and families here at the Institute of Medicine and the National Research Council. And I would like to start off by thanking Velma McBride-Murray, who is our one of our board members who had the idea to actually have this meeting back at our last board meeting in December. And so I want to thank Velma for her innovative sort of thinking around this. And I also want to thank Angela Diaz, who is the chair of our board, for providing leadership and working with Velma and the rest of the staff and the board on putting this together. I also want to point out, well, there's Victor Zhao, our president, who will be making some remarks in a bit. And I also want to point out two staff people who really helped pull this together, which is Pamela Tai, who you've probably all heard from. She's our administrative assistant of the board, and Charlie Alexander, a research associate on our board. And so all the bios of all the speakers and all the board members are actually in handouts, which are at the registration table if you didn't pick them up. So we're not going to spend a lot of time going through bios. You can feel free to read those because we have a whole lot of interesting people to hear from today. And I think we're going to engage in a lot of interesting discussion. So I'm going to now hand it over to Charlie, who's going to explain how we're going to launch this meeting.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending our meeting today. We're going to do things a little differently than we normally do here at the IOM, and we're going to open and close the session with slam poetry. For those of you who are unfamiliar with slam poetry, it is spoken word poetry that is often highly politicized. It draws on racial, economic, and social subject matter to express thoughts and feelings. Poems are original works performed in front of a live audience. Unfortunately, it won't be a live performance today. By opening the meeting with this form of expression, we hope to underscore the effects that laws, policies, and current events have on people. We should never lose sight of the people. This first performance comes from the National Poetry Slam Poetry semifinals in 2014. It is written and performed by Yamazawa, Matam, Smith, and Burhams. But before we play the video, I wanted to make a quick note about time. So speakers have 5 minutes to speak about what social justice and equity means to them. We have a timekeeper in the front of the room, it's Anthony. A green card means you have 5 minutes. A yellow card means you have 2 minutes. And a red card means you have 30 seconds. So we want to ensure that we stick to time because we have a lot of speakers and we want to make sure everybody has equal time to speak. So Pamela, could you play the video, please?